Tonight, on 205 Live, Mike Kanellis seeks his moment by attempting to take down Kalisto. And for the main event, Akira Tozawa and Hideo Itami bring down the house. Who wins? Who loses? Let's find out.
Alright, let's get into this one. 205 Live. That's tough. Lots of stuff. Good night, folks. But anyway, first match we had was Kalisto versus Mike Kanellis, and before the match, one of the Lucha House Party ran over, and I think it was Lince Dorado, ran over and tried to put a little tiny sombrero on Nigel McGuinness's head. And then McGuinness refers to Lince as Lince Dorito. Bravo. And right as the bell rings, Kanellis rushes Kalisto, but Kalisto quickly counters and strikes at Mike. Overall, this match had a few good spots, but it was mostly focused around Kalisto than Mike Kanellis. Maria took time at the commentary to hype up her husband and their history, how long he's been in the business, so I think it's really trying to hype him up, which makes the rest of the match all the more confusing. Mike took more of a hard-hitting brawler style than, in contrast to Kalisto's, high-flying luchador style. Overall, the match was well worked. Kalisto took a brutal bump near the end on a dive attempt that Mike grabbed and threw him down in one swift motion. The match nearly ends with a tilt-a-whirl DDT, but after some offense by Kalisto, Kanellis slams him down from the top turnbuckle. Mike brutalizes Kalisto after that, but the pin fails due to Kalisto getting his foot up on the rope. After this failed pin, Kalisto rolls him up for a pin of his own. 1, 2, 3. Mike Kanellis loses. So I don't know what the point of this match was. I think if they have asked for the release, and, this is his own kind of blow, working his way out of the business by working on putting other people over, fine, but this is weird. After that, we had a little bit of an ad where it was Geller and Gulak were trying to recruit Humberto Carrillo, trying to dissuade him from flying high. Alluding to Icarus. And then Arya Daivari hypes up Hideo Itami's match against Tozawa. We get live, recorded earlier that day yesterday, where Noam Dar and Tony Nese were in a brawl. Tony Nese seemed to have him in a bit of a headlock, and Noam Dar was just like that one 8-year-old who's trying to fight, and he's like, clubbing. But yeah, that was that. After that, we got to our main event, and our main event is Hideo Itami versus Akira Tozawa. The apparent final matchup on, at least for taping, for Hideo Itami before leaving WWE, because if you haven't heard, Itami asked for his release was granted. So you already know who's winning this match. But yeah. The match begins with the Itami and Tozawa kind of circling each other in the ring. Tozawa tries to hype the crowd and then goes to attack Itami, but Itami plays it slyly and starts ducking, beneath the ropes to keep Tozawa away and give him some time. Initially, both failed to land decent strikes, each other, evading the other's moves. I scrolled down too far on my notes. There we go. So Tozawa adjusted by using a lot of grappling slams, and as he starts to weaken him, he's starting to get in chops, he's starting to get in submission holds to help whittle away at Hideo, allowing him to add even more strikes into the offense. And he did pretty much thrash Itami for what felt like the first half of this match. Even Kendrick trying to get him hyped up. At one point, he started to try and lend Tozawa some advice while he was down on the corner, and this distracted the referee because the ref has a very short attention span and doesn't realize that there's another guy that's outside the ring that he should also be paying attention to. This gave Daivari an opportunity to pull Akira down and attack him. And after this, it was Itami's game for a few minutes. This gave Itami a stronger ground to combat Akira, allowing him to pursue more offensive strikes, landing powerful knees and kicks, getting Tozawa into submissions, multiple neck breakers. Hideo's strategy seemed to be to exhaust Akira Tozawa. But in the end, it proves fruitless, as the match ends with Tozawa regaining his footing after a brutal lariat by Itami, and reversing the Sakura knee strike. He then hit a whirlwind kick, evades Itami, causes Hideo to hit Aria Davari after, I believe, Hideo took out Kendrick? Or was it Tozawa? Can't quite remember now. Anyway, he gets hit with a German suplex, drags Hideo into the corner, hits him with the Dragon Senton, pins him for the win. And then after the match, as Itami got up, Aria Davari steps into the ring and attacks Hideo Itami. Bye-bye. Have fun. All the best for Hideo. Well, now I guess he's back to his actual name of Kenta, which isn't just his ring name. His actual first name, I believe, is Kenta. But yeah, best of luck to you, man. Glad to have you for the short time that we did. I mean, that we at least saw you on TV. So yeah, that was 205 Live. Aiden English is much more solid on commentary now. He's getting more comfortable in the role, and you can tell. And his distinct voice makes it a lot more bearable. Not that 205 Live's commentary crew is bad or anything. It's just sometimes hearing very similar voices can get irritating. Vic Joseph sounds like a younger Michael Cole. And also sounds like a mix between Michael Cole and Tom Phillips, except not insufferable. Anyway, Aiden English is doing better on commentary. However, this episode 205 Live did feel very underwhelming, and especially in comparison to some of the weeks past. But the wrestling was well done. I really wish that they could include more matches, but they're not. I mean, they always end at 15 minutes before NXT. They really could just add in another match, cut some of the promo time down. But anyway, B-. Polls up here, you can grade it along with me. And from there, I gotta get ready for the NXT review. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Tonight on NXT, Jessamyn Duke and Maria Shafir seek to prove themselves against Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. And for the main event, remember the Forgotten Sons as they face down the Street Profits. Who wins? Who loses? Let's get in to the nitty-gritty.
Yep. Yeah, this was a very okay episode of NXT. But yeah, let's begin with the opener. We had Io Shirai and Kairi Sane versus Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir. Marina's still working on her apparent injury because she's wearing that mask. She was primarily kept out of the fight, with Jessamyn shining out of the two of them. And it's not a high bar there. Jessamyn Duke seems to have better fundamentals, and Marina Shafir felt like Baszler Light like a year ago Baszler. No, a year and a half ago Baszler. But even lower. This is the second tape match I've seen them in. So, as long as they don't get complacent, the only direction for them to go is up. But I don't quite, I don't know if they'll make it in time for them to be considered big names. But yeah, overall the match was well worked, as well as one would expect from Duke and Shafir. With Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, being utilized to carry the match. The greenness did play well into the story, with them not being able to, with them lacking the knowledge on how to counter Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. But yeah, Kairi ends the match with an insane elbow. I believe she pinned Marina Shafir for the win. It was a mediocre match that was of no fault of Io or Kairi. It was definitely the greenness of Jessamyn and Marina. But we'll see what they manage to accomplish in the months to come. Then after that, we got into Recap Central because it was the matches straight after the NXT TakeOver Phoenix show. We had a backstage interview with Johnny Gargano, who was seemingly obsessing over his North American title win. Bianca Belair seems a bit delusional because she's like, undefeated is a mindset. That's right, I'm still undefeated. Trust me, I know words. We got a War Raiders interview, and then recaps. It was a, like a 35-minute sandwich of recaps. And then we get to our main event. And our main event is the Forgotten Sons versus the Street Profits. Dawkins Cutler start off with Dawkins taking Cutler down. Down to the ground. But Blake tries to interfere, Montez Ford cuts him off, and the two toss Cutler and Blake out of the ring. After some offense by the Street Profits, Cutler and Blake begin to turn it around. With Blake getting a very poor looking crossface on, I believe it was, Montez Ford. Ford tries to break free, but Cutler is tagged in. Gets hit with a springboard backbreaker. Ford turns it back around by flinging the two of them out of the ring. Avoids a splash from Blake. Blake tries to grab onto the tights to keep him from getting back to his corner. It's no good because Montez Ford is a tall motherfucker and he tags in Angelo Dawkins. Dawkins goes batshit insane and starts throwing the two of them about with body drops, drop kicks, slams, whatever he needed to do, he was throwing them around the ring. Then Montez sees Cutler trying to get into the ring. So he runs into the ring and does this beautiful vertical leap, like 3 feet above the top rope, like jumps from the mat 3 feet over the top rope and hits Cutler. Dawkins props Blake up on his shoulders. So when Montez Ford gets back over, gets up on the top turnbuckle, they hit him with the pop-up spine buster. After the pin is broken up, Jackson Riker distracts Dawkins. And after Dawkins gets outside the ring, he distracts Dawkins. Blake dives into him, drags him back into the ring. And the hit, Morrow, I believe, called it The Memory Remains, which I guess is the name of their finisher. Pinning Angelo Dawkins for the win. Honestly, it was a recap episode. It's not really worth your time, unless you want to see the progression of Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, which hasn't been too much since their last match. They've improved a bit. With Jessamine Duke seemingly taking better to it than Marina Shafir is. But the matches really weren't that brilliant. I'm glad the Forgotten Sons got a win over the Street Profits. It makes sense to build them up, especially with the fact that Street Profits are already established. They're a great talent. But you gotta build the Forgotten Sons up. However, all in all, this was pretty mediocre. I'm gonna give NXT probably my lowest grade to date, and that's a C+. And my polls up here, you can go ahead and click on that. You can grade NXT along with me. But yeah, there wasn't much here that kept me engaged. But that's what I think, and like, share, and subscribe, or dislike if you don't like it. Let me know in the comments what you think of the shows. And this has been Real Honesty without John Ritland. I am not John Ritland. I am the Durbinator. And you have a great night.